The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Preamble. Whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice and peace in the world. Whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind, and the advent of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief, and freedom from fear and want, has been proclaimed as the highest aspiration of the common people. Whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse, as a last resort, to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. Whereas it is essential to promote the development of friendly relations between nations. Whereas the peoples of the United Nations have in the Charter reaffirmed their faith in fundamental human rights, in the dignity and worth of the human person, and in the equal rights of men and women, and have determined to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. Whereas member states have pledged themselves to achieve, in cooperation with the United Nations, the promotion of universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Whereas a common understanding of these rights and freedoms is of the greatest importance for the full realization of this pledge, now, therefore, the General Assembly proclaims this Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, to the end that every individual and every organ of society, keeping this declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect for these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure their universal and effective recognition and observance, both among the peoples of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdiction. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. 2. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. 1. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate. Everyone has the right to a standard of living and of his family for the health and well-being, food, clothing, of his family, housing and medical food, social necessary social services and medical care, and the right necessary social services in the event of unemployment, and the right to security, disability, in the event of unemployment, old age, disability, or lack of livelihood, widowhood in circumstances beyond his control, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and childhood. All children are entitled to special care, whether born in or out of wedlock. All shall enjoy the same social protection. 1. Shall enjoy the same social protection. Everyone has the right to a standard of living health adequate. Everyone has the right to a standard of living and adequate for the health and well-being, food, housing, of his family, housing and medical food, and necessary social services and medical care, and the right to necessary social services in the event of unemployment, and the right to security, disability, in the event of unemployment, old age, disability, lack of livelihood beyond circumstances beyond his control, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and childhood, are entitled to special care, whether born in or out of wedlock. All shall enjoy the same social protection. Shall enjoy the same social protection. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate. Everyone has the right to a standard of living. Everyone has the right to a standard of living, food, adequate clothing, housing, and medical food, and of his family, necessary housing and medical care, and the right necessary social services.